speaking of black jokes, did you see this
Oh,
Colin Kaepernick?
What a joke of a guy this guy is.
And don't worry, we got some white people we're gonna make fun of. We're spreading it out tonight.
I can't wait to talk about this, bro. This is so fucking retarded.
He wrote a graphic novel, memoir. I think it's called Ungrateful Nigga. Jesus, I'm sorry.
I don't think that's what it's called, bro. I'm pretty sure.
You are a racist.
I'm pretty sure that's not the name. God damn.
Hey, beat it, spook. This don't concern you.
Well, I mean, it's really ridiculous. He basically accuses his adopted parents of racism.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, look, if you I guess this is more of a black thing here. If you guys feel it,
what do you identify as, Chris?
I'm a mulatto. I'm in the middle. I don't identify.
So
with
I don't know
color.
what side of you is using nigga right now. So the next time you use it,
You're walking the fuck
I'm gonna be forced to walk the fuck
You're
out
working
of
a
here.
fine line here, my friend.
Okay, here's my problem with this. You have a African American man who was born to a white woman and a black father. The father left. The mother gave him up for adoption. You have two white parents who I guess they couldn't have kids. They adopted him, gave him the best life he could ever fucking have.
Great life. Yeah.
He wasn't adopted into a meth house. He was
Privileged
adopted
black
into
fuck.
some responsible, not white people, just responsible human beings who wanted to raise this kid as their own. The crux of because I heard one of the quotes in the book. It was I wanted to have cornrows and the dad was like, I don't want him to have cornrows. He's gonna look like a little
thug. Yeah.
Let me tell you something, all you black people that are angry out there. When I was growing up, I'm fully black. Both my parents are black. When I was growing up, I wanted cornrows, I wanted dreadlocks, I wanted all of that. My parents said no, because you're gonna look like a little thug.
You know why though?
That's what the fuck it is.
I think you got one thing wrong.
What did I get?
It's because you didn't have black parents. You had
Jamaican
parents.
I went through that too. Yeah,
That's different, my
yeah,
friend.
it's different. It is different. Black
Major.
It's a Jamaican. I think Caribbean parents don't, because I think Haitian parents are the same way.
It's different in ideology, but in terms of
that's the importance of it.
Of like your reason why I bring it up though, right, is because I know they're not African American, but the you can't call that being a racist standard if black people, whether they're black, they're not African American, but their skin color is black, but they see dreads and they see cornrows in the same way that other people see it. Because the thugs and the people that are committing crimes, guess what? Most of them, if not a lot, have cornrows and dreadlocks. And that's just a fact.
I guess the argument is that it comes from African culture, and that's why it's racist, quote unquote. But the problem is that it's not the culture in America, the black culture in America. It's usually the thugs that have the crazy hairstyles.
Yeah. You know what else comes with African culture? Respecting authority. Some African cultures practice abstinence until marriage.
Do they?
Some of them.
Okay.
You know, there's most that do the whole.
Some of the tribes and stuff.
You marry the daughter off or whatever.
Gotcha.
But I mean, they like to pick and choose the aspects that fit with their life, but they don't do everything in the African culture way.
Well, I was listening to the radio the other day, and we'll get to this in a second. Sorry. But it was this commercial. There's like some kind of soul month coming up, Black Soul Week or something like that. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, cause I like black soul music. Like I like the Temptations, James Brown, all of that. I love it.
I love that.
But then I'm listening to the commercial and it's like, come celebrate Soul Week to see how the black culture does it. And the instrumental playing behind it, radio, is Fuck Nigga Free. And then it goes after that into some rap song. And I'm listening to it. I'm like, I realized something. Hip hop radio and rap music now has less soul than even white music.
Damn.
Yeah. Then it's just soulless, bro. Like trap music, all that stuff. It's removed of soul. So I think it's funny that there's this thing where it's almost like black people are so in touch with their culture. And it's like, you're right. It's like just the parts they want to be in touch with, the hair and the I wear jewelry because black kings wore jewelry. It's like, bro, adapt everything then. You're right. You got to adapt.
Just adapt everything. You want to
pick and choose what's convenient. It's like people do it with religion, you know? They pick and choose the parts of the religion they want to follow.
That's true too.
If we're talking about culture, is what I'm saying. But then when that's why I said I think I did a video. We'll actually have a conversation on this in a little bit. About I want to start separating or identifying the cultures as opposed to just going, this is black. Like my father is black, but my father's not black. He's Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
You said it yourself. It's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to start doing that in order to like stop just lumping everybody into one color, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that because we have a little debate we'll get into.
All right.
But let's play a little bit of Colin's
Hating on his parents.
little cap.
Brown Youth, a publishing company, and media projects, including a docuseries on Netflix and an upcoming documentary with director Spike Lee.
Ugh.
He is also
What a
a new
match made in
father
heaven.
who's spreading a message of empowerment in his new graphic novel,
Are you a
Change.
Spike Lee fan?
Not really.
He's-
Like I mean, of like his work or like him as a person. Like I mean, some of his work, yeah. Like I like the Malcolm X that he did with Denzel and shit.
Couple
but-
of his movies,
couple of his
are-
stuff,
but
I don't
his-
really like him.
do the right
I don't
thing.
like
I
him
still
as a-
like do the right thing.
I-
It's woke, but I like it.
Yeah. As
well,
a person, I don't care for Spike Lee.
I
but-
think he's a horrible director, but
Yeah.
I just don't think he's.
You don't like the camera angles? He be.
I watched The Five Bloods, and
You always go back to
haven't
that.
seen it. I
Come
haven't
on,
seen
sometimes
it.
you gotta
I haven't seen
experiment.
the fucking ratio on the TV kept snapping because he kept using different fucking like size cameras or film.
Bro, sometimes you gotta step out there, bro. It's artistry.
It's not a fucking artistic choice. It's bad technical ability.
Hey, I'm just a black man doing with a limited budget doing what I can.
Oh man.
Probably what he'll say.
I'm just saying. I think it black entertainment needs a little more criticism to get better.
They need more humor.
It will get better if there's more criticism.
Well,
Oh,
you know,
humor
we
too.
just don't have so many black people doing things on that level. So when we get one of them, we just want to support them, you know. And
Ugh.
He
Even
does that
though-
so fucking well.
I know. I was
God
like, where's he
damn.
going with that?
because that's what that's what they'll say to defend
Yes.
this
Yeah,
shit. Like
that's
I'm
true.
so used to the defense of fuckery. Like,
Yeah, you know
it's
it.
annoying,
You know,
yeah.
I know you argue with people. It's
I do. So I just learned my best thing is that I just side with them now, and I watch how like people are like yeah, and I'm like, you idiot, I'm just fucking trolling.
my new thing is just asking questions. I just
And
keep
just
asking
revealing to them,
leading
like, how dumb-
questions. Yeah, just to watch them explain their horseshit.
I love when people do that. Like you should do video. You should do videos of that, like just randomly, like asking people certain shit. Like,
Eventually, we're
I like
planning
those.
on
I
it.
like those kind of videos.
Definitely. All right, let's see. I thought it was a comic book, honestly, but this is.
Change the Game, written with author and University of Chicago professor Eve L. Ewing.
I love how you depict yourself in this book, not as some big shot hero, but as a shy, insecure high schooler like we all were. I mean, I'm speaking for you, but
No, absolutely.
Growing up, I think still am a pretty introverted person. I hope it's true to form, and that's just kind of how I navigate the world.
It's his
He went to like white schools, right? Growing up,
Pretty sure.
he was the coolest guy in school. He was the most popular kid in school just
He's
for
an
existing.
athlete too, a mixed athlete.
Let me
He was getting all the bitches.
absolutely.
100%.
He didn't get one criticism or one insult throughout his entire
I
schooling.
guarantee he was a bully as well. I
Probably.
guarantee it.
I don't know, because he does seem very like
Nah. He was
Low
shoving
key,
kids in
but-
lockers.
Yeah, he does, but still,
He
he
was
could have
shoving
been
kids in
introverted,
lockers.
but it would have been hard because like people would have just been on your dick regardless.
No.
Like, I don't know.
I bet you he had a great upbringing. Like I bet you he had a lot of white friends that they were like brothers.
Yeah.
All that shit. Trust me.
He's acting like he grew up in his. He like he grew up during like civil rights or something. Like being
Right.
mixed was just like still like you know. Like,
It's so hard.
I had to go to the back of the bus.
Fucking
And
these
again,
mulattoes really
He's
annoy me.
just the fact that his parents, like these are people who did not have to. They went to the fucking kennel and picked you. Like they didn't have to do. They didn't have to get you.
Went to the kennel.
Like it's because I was looking for a dog the other day, and when we went to the kennel, it's sort of like that selection process. Like what are we gonna pick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you're adopting a kid. I gotta assume you look in the room or you look at the pictures. You're like, I want that one. Let's see what he's like. Let's meet him. You know, we'll talk about
Right,
it. Okay,
right.
and then we'll adopt him. They had to go through that whole process.
You hold them by the back of the neck and check them out.
Hang him over, hang him by the legs, shake him a little bit, shake him a little And I don't know when he was adopted. Maybe he was
Squeeze his
adopted
legs.
when he was a baby. If he was
I think
adopted
that's
when he
what
was
it
a
was.
That's what I
baby,
was wondering.
that's even worse, bro.
Yeah,
These are the only parents you know.
He's raised by wolves.
And you feel like they're racist? They wouldn't have adopted a black baby, you dummy.
if they were, yes,
Oh my God.
that's why it's ridiculous unto itself that's where he's going with this.
He had a mixed fucking kid adopted by white parents
Right.
talking about racism.
Let me tell you, that also shows you that he truly doesn't really have any adversity in his life because he had to go after the first people that ever helped him in life.
That ever cared about him.
Because there's no other people that he can go after and go, well, these are the villains in my life, so to speak. I have to go after my parents. In my book.
He could go after his original parents, but then that would be going against the narrative.
He sat down with the publishers and they were like, let's think of some racism that you went through. Just rattle off some racism. And he was like, my friend Billy said my hair looks weird once. I don't know. And then they were like, all right, well, tell us about your mother and your father. You were raised by white people. How was that? And then he used,
Then he goes into that whole thing. So I get
it's just shut the fuck up, bro. Shut the fuck up. My parents cared about my hair.
Privilege.
That's what parents do.
Yeah.
My parents still tell me to cut my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my grandparents more.
Me
But
too.
yeah. My father always telling me to
Parents
cut
are
my hair.
always going to care about what you look like. They always want you to always represent the best because you're representing them. That's the whole point, bro.
Right.
But also too, I think like in their generation, especially like my grandparents, I think like they were just taught that you know what I'm saying? Like no, this you shave, you have your hair. This is how you look as
You
presentable
groom
member of
yourself.
society.
Yeah.
But like yeah.
And let me
age.
preemptively strike real quick. For the people who's gonna be in the comments like, oh well, white parents wouldn't know the culture. Good. The culture is a fucking disease. I hope they don't know the culture. And whatever black children they decide to raise, I hope they raise them as white folk so that they have a good credit score when they get to college.
And really, is the hill you're gonna die on cornrows? Are we gonna be that fucking stereotypical?
You know what's funny though? Like as a kid, that was my argument to like my grandparents.
Right.
Like, when they wanted me to, I'm like, man, this is part of my culture. This is like, back in the, these times, they do this in Africa. Like, just finding whatever I heard, like I was like, okay, yeah, that fits my argument.
Yeah, but what about the new, like, I'll just call it black culture, just the, black American culture after slavery. You know what I mean? Where you look at like old pictures of black guys from back in the day, they'd be all clean cut, wearing nice fitted clothes, no baggy shit, yeah, all that
But
other
they had afros and stuff back in the 70s.
Well, yeah, that's when civil rights started coming around.
Yeah.
When it was all about pushing your blackness.
Mm-hmm.
So when that
you're
started,
talking about before.
Yeah. Like before, you'd see just clean cut black guys. That's what it was.
Let's keep it a bean. I know you weren't saying this, but back in those days, it was important for us to push through the blackness because they didn't want to see it. But now we're in a different time. People still act like we're in the fucking 60s, bro. We're not.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think, and I guess we can filter this into the conversation we're gonna have. Is that's where I think it gets to of like I think pushing your blackness was a mistake that black people made back in the day because look at what it's done now to the generations where they're all unified behind a color that doesn't define cultures, doesn't distinguish cultures, differences. It's just you're black, I'm black, and it's like, well. Not really. Not really.
We're different.
There's Dominicans. There's fucking Haitians. There's
Dominicans tell you. I know black papi. I Dominican.
True story. I had a friend. He tries to say to this day he'll say he was joking, but I know he was dead serious. He's Spanish, right? And he's like, it was like Black History Month or something. I don't know. We were talking about Black History Month, whatever. And he's like, man, shut up, man. You're not even black. You're Jamaican. You shouldn't. Like we were done. Like he was serious at first, and they were like, "Are you dumb?" Like it was like,
right.
It was like, you think Jamaicans aren't black people? And then he was like defending it first, and then after a while, he's like, "Oh no, I was just joking." But I think he was dead serious.
Well,
There's a point to that.
That's the point, though. What is black people? Like, what is that?
Right. Exactly.
Is there really?
I don't like to say it. Like I don't like to say I'm black. It feels like every time I say it, I'm like, oh.
Well, black people will tell you they're not a monolith, and then
they say I'm black.
Subscribe to all the monoliths that exist.
Yeah, but I say the same thing. Like if you look at now, white people are starting to do the same thing. where it's all different types of Caucasian people identifying as one color, and now it's becoming my color is being victimized.
Right.
This is being this. We're being called this or whatever. It's like at the end of the day, if you want to actually fight the people that are calling white people racist, just stop calling yourself white. Identify yourself as fucking Polish or Italian. So when they do go, yeah, white people are racist, you go, don't look at me, I'm not white.
I'm Italian.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm not black, I'm OJ.
I'm Irish. I was with you. I was a slave too.
Oh, they love that one.
Yeah. I'm not white, I'm Irish.
I'm Jamaican, man.
Yeah.
Black people can be the only slaves. Remember that.
Indentured servants. Hey, black people could buy their own freedom too. What's the difference? What's the difference?
I don't know. Even if you're in a Benz, you're still a nigga in a coupe. Where is that nigga?
High school coming of age story. His journey in
is transforming into a whore on TikTok. Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead and play it.
embracing his blackness, despite resistance from many, including his white adoptive parents.
Oh.
I know my parents love me, but they were still very proud.
Wait, why are they calling? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you heard that?
I gotta play it back.
White adopted parents.
I did not know about this.
You didn't know he was adopted by white?
No. I didn't know he said this. He this book or whatever. I didn't know he's like I didn't hear what he said yet, but it looks like he's about to say something not too good about his parents.
Again, we have to be able to criticize. I haven't seen the book.
Why do they always make angry white people look the same, bro?
Yeah.
God damn.
They always have that same. So why are they always wearing a collared shirt? Always.
Blue collar.
He's the most innocent looking biracial kid I've ever seen right there. Like,
wait, this again, we need to be able to criticize black art, black, creations here. Is this really a novel or is it a comic book? Because it's looking like a comic book.
It's a graphic. Yeah. It's a graphic novel.
What does that mean?
Is that what a comic book is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, that's what it is. It's the same thing. Now, I know where you're going.
I'm tired of you nerds trying to fucking.
It's the same.
Add prestige
manga,
to your bullshit.
Manga is manga, but it's also considered a graphic novel because there's words and there's pictures. So if there's graphics and it's words to go with it, it's a graphic novel.
I think you're pushing it with the word novel. It's a reach. It's a reach.
It's
That's
a
all I'm
graphic
saying.
book. The terminology is novel, but it's look. Can we agree that there's graphics there? Is there a storyline? Is there?
I can agree they almost stayed in the lines.
I know he's saying technically it has what it takes to constitute it as a
yes.
If it's one of those books that in the middle has like that plasticky kind of paper,
it doesn't meet his standard of novel.
Maybe. I'm a dumb fuck.
It's not challenging enough.
You're just uncultured.
He's too intellectual to understand.
I'm a low class piece of garbage. All right, let's see. Listen to your mother, Colin. Because she's white, not because she's your mother.
Yo, if you narrated the audiobook for this shit out of this, that shit would be hard.
I should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Narrate woke books.
Mm-hmm.
Parents.
At least they have cookies at the table. That's a nice white household.
I never had cookies.
That's a nice white.
Who puts cookies in the cookie jar?
Like I just heard about that in like old stories. Like
I remember
that's why they have it.
I remember my mom did that. She's white. When we were younger, she did that once in my life, and every person that walked in the room was like, "What's wrong? Is everything all right?" She's like,
Yeah.
It says cookies on the side.
Like nobody, like you don't do that.
You don't. Yeah, it's just that's upper class shit.
And we had cookie jars. That's the thing, but we had sugar and flour, everything.
Yeah,
everything
but cookies.
Yeah, but cookies in there.
Yeah. If you want to find some needles, just look for the cookie. Look for the cookie, the blue cookie jar. That's where the needles
jar
are.
was for everything.
And there's no
cookies.
order to the cookie jar. It's ketchup packets next to sewing needles.
Yeah,
it's just storage.
All right, let's hear him actually quote his parents.
White adoptive parents.
I know my parents love me, but there were still very problematic things that I went through. I think it was important to show that, no, this can happen in your own home, and how we move forward collectively while addressing the racism that is being perpetuated.
I've never wanted to correctly use the N-word so bad in my life.
I don't think that's
colloquially. I want to use it.
I don't think that's how we move forward collectively.
I know. Okay. That's why I'm not gonna. But it's got to be one of the most ungrateful things I've ever
Are
heard.
they alive?
I'm pretty sure.
Like, I would love to hear their take. Like, yeah, we know. Would they agree with this?
I guarantee they're rich, liberal, white, guilty assholes.
Yeah, I bet they'll be like, yeah, we didn't know we this would affect them that way. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'd be like,
very apologetic.
We tried so hard with Colin.
The reason
we just couldn't relate.
It's things that he was going through we would never be able to understand.
The reason they adopted a mixed kid is because of their woke ideology.
Probably.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me.
It's like why Madonna purchases African children.
Yeah, like why
It's
would you like and then it's like, oh, like it again it comes off like real sympathetic, like, oh, like you need to save them as the white woman, or you got to come buy some, like not buy, but you're adopted.
That's where I believe when there's certain black people that say that there's certain white people that have a hero complex. They want to save the black people.
Liberals.
It comes off
it's the liberals
condescending in a sense. So
it is. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem. It seems disingenuous.
And by their logic, conservatives are racist, so it would have to be the liberals.
Right. Exactly.
I've had arguments with rich white liberals trying to tell me what black neighborhoods are like, and I'm like, fuckhead. I grew up in black neighborhoods. The fuck are you talking about?
They saw a music video or they saw the news.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's what happened to him.
I saw an NWA video, and Compton's pretty bad.
Yeah,
I know what I'm
and
talking
they'll even
about.
fuck the police. Can you imagine?